Hello guys, this is Moses Jairaj. This video is about the acknowledgement I am giving about the Arthur Jones high intensity and Mike Mentzer's high intensity training. I went through the process of 6 to 8 months of doing high intensity training. I gained a peak, I gained a plateau. After that I'm getting sick and weak and the people I trained getting weaker. Most of the Arthur Jones, whether it may be the Colorado experiment or the West Point, New York, which was the project Total Conditioning, and other experiment, when you see it was 6 weeks or 28 days, very less period of time. If you are training for a professional any sport, you won't train it for one month, because you use it to train for a long period of time. When you see the high intensity type of training, you need much more amount of recovery in order to fill the gap, and also the burning of fat, all those things were less. You won't burn fat faster. Most of the things I realized, people who trained, who become better, whether it may be the Marvin Eder or the guy who is doing the dip of like 185 or 195 kgs, Matthew Zlat, or I saw the people who is doing like Sergio Di Pasquale or Max True. Those were endurance drivers, and Matthew Zlat was 1 rep max, he do 1 rep max, and Marvin Eder lifted heavier in the end of his career. Whoever this you may take, the first beginning of them was low intensity high repetition training, which will build the fuel every single day. It will give you every single day progression. You doesn't have to wait for a long period of time like the Arthur Jones said, but that TD is definitely useful. But when it is useful, the time when you're doing peak, which means the races. Sorry for the noise in the background, that was some wedding is happening on the roads, so sorry for that guys. It was quantity to quality, which was explained by the Clyde Hart, the coach Clyde Hart, because he trained for over a period of years. That's why he know the long-term process. Your training year definitely has to be high amount of the time has to be low intensity everyday training, and when it comes to peak, when you are peak before the competition or at the time of competition, the rest has to be more and the intensity of the effort has to be more and the volume has to be less. When it comes to the main phase of the year, which was when you are off season and before the seasons of the base, when you are wearing the foundation, that it has to be first find what is your one rep max in the muscles that needed for the sport, rather than if you want to be the better runner, running is least productive. I agree with the statement that which was said by the Arthur Jones. It was least productive. Why it was least productive? Performing certain skill itself the least productive. When you are swimming, when you are running, you compromise the range of motion. When you are performing low intensity, which means if you are running a mile 10 minutes, if you are running a mile 4 minutes, or if you are running a mile 3 minutes 43, which was old record, near to the old record, your range of motion was different than high intensity has much range of motion and low intensity has less range of motion. Running itself is least productive. I saw the people who came from villages, who is doing farming, who won't even train for running. They were performing excellent in the sports. What it needs is the muscular endurance, that the certain muscles that need. When you are a runner, the most endurance, muscular endurance and strength. I agree with this statement of Arthur Jones. The endurance and strength levels is equally proportionally increased. That's why you can even choose the low intensity and high amount of training like Sergio Di Pasquale do. If you let's say my 1 rep max of shoulder press for each hand, 10 rep max, not 1 rep max. I do 40 kgs, 20 each hand for 12 reps. When it comes to shoulder press, I take half of the weight and doing 10 reps of sets for 1 hour period of time, with some of the other exercises, taking 5 exercises and doing 5 of those exercises. And it was much noise outside. Okay, doing 5 of those exercises and doing it like in a manner of circuit manner. I was taking, I won't say all those things, saying all the time, never allowing me to do those exercises. That was at the end of the success. I will told every single thing of them. I wanted to tell you that I take 5 exercises, take it as one set, those 5 exercises of 10 reps, doing 50%. When you are performing a muscular endurance, take from 10 to 80% of your maximum intensity, 1 rep max, after finding by using the Arthur Jones high intensity. Then come back to the Clyde Hart's quantity to quality. Then build that within the 1 hour. Increase gradually every single day or day after day, 48 hours. Increase the amount of volume that you can able to do within 1 hour. Then it will increase the rate of the power is increased. What is power? Power is rate of work that you can do within certain amount of time. Running faster is nothing but power, more power. The rotation speed, if you can able to do long range of motion at certain frequency, stride length times stride frequency is nothing but speed. That is nothing but a power. The most muscular endurance you have within a time period, you will be literally much more faster. That's what you can do. I want you to learn these things. When you are following when you are laying a foundation of your sports career, even though you are nothing, you are a guy, 100 kgs guy who is 5 and tall or 6 feet tall, who is fat enough and wanted to become the fastest man in the world. And world will say you can't, you are not fit enough. But I'm saying that the way to become the greatest athlete, to become the fastest man in the world, what do you have to do? You have to take low intensity and perform it over time, and you will get fit. And then use the Arthur Jones method. When you get fit, test your 1 rep max in the certain things, and after increasing by reducing volume, increasing intensity, then your internal fuel, glycogen systems, phosphate systems, and ATP and other systems will reduce, and the fat percentages will be increased, and the muscle will be increased. The pain will be much more, even though you can perform it by doing lots of reps with low intensity of running, and when cutting the volume and doing and performing the speed, the high intensity, like testing 1 rep max of your speed, whether maybe 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, 800 meters, 1500 meters, whatever the distance may be, even up to the marathon, by performing your maximum intensity. Then you can stop there, where you can't able to increase the maximum intensity, which means the time when you reach the plateau, there you have to stop. Then go back to the low intensity, then take the 10 to 80% of the maximum amount of 10 to 80% of the intensity of effort that you can able to do 1 rep max. From that you have to do more amount of repetition just with low intensity, not even with medium intensity, just with low intensity. Build as many reps as possible, and then go back, then see, then cut the volume and see how much you can able to do your 1 rep max. Definitely the 1 rep max goes much up by reducing the volume. That's what the foundation of the sprinters do, athletes do. That's what Clyde Hutt did. That is is success philosophy. I understood over 10 years. The same philosophy, it took me 10 years to understand this. Even though if you ask any successful person in this world, they can't successful fastest person in the world, they can't able to tell all these things. But the successful coaches, maybe they will tell, like Clyde Hart, people like them, who did over and over and over again, who produced most results, better results. But they have a failure rate in the beginning. That's why they became success. Those people who fail, that's I never consider as failure. That is the time of learning. Like Brian Tracy said, one day the process of failing and learning, the time of learning brings the outcome of success. That's how you will succeed. Guys, I want to tell you that when you are building an off-season foundation base has to be definitely low intensity. Like Clyde Hutt said, slow to speed, quantity to quantity, quantity to quality. Speed is synonymous to strength is synonymous to speed. All this keep them in mind. And I want to tell you that this is the process of building speed. And right now I was working on both height and speed and strength levels, improving strength levels, all of them. I think you can see the damage that I had, callus I was building. It is invisible. Callus it was building by grabbing the bar every 48 hours for hours of training. That's it, guys. That's how you can become the better sprinters. The foundation phase has to be low intensity. What it does is it allows to train every single day or every alternative day, for every 48 hours. It will give you progress of performing more and more sets, and you will become literally the best man in the world. Go for muscular endurance rather running itself. I was struggling with high knee lift all these 10 years. Right now I was performing high extensions, which was doing by ballet dancers, which was done by karate, martial arts, taekwondo. I was doing the same thing. I was increasing the endurance. Endurance is equal to strength also. The increase in endurance increases directly proportional to the strength. I was increasing the endurance, which was in the main muscle, which was psoas major, not only psoas majors, it's iliopsoas muscles, which were the reason for the high knee lift, knee drive, better knee drive. I saw that MRI scan in the documentary of Asafa Powell. He has this much thicker psoas major muscle. Also, rather than performing, if you are let's take, if you are a boxer, other than increasing the thickness here, you can just by doing strength training, much power you can increase. Even you come out, you can do boxing. That's you can do the boxing, but the skill itself, you can't control how much intensity. You properly can't measure how much intensity you are doing. You may do low intensity, you may do high intensity. You can't properly measure while doing skill. That's why performing skill training with the skill itself the least productive. So in order to become the greatest champion in the world, you have to know what things are much more in order to develop your career.